And welcome back to another video. This is Marcus Q Matrix, and in this one, I will be focusing on a video where this is a common scam that this unfortunate situation with this couple will probably cost them their home. And yeah, let's get into it. Now there are hundreds of $1,000s in the hole for something that could have been resolved by one simple step. Let's get into it.
Pride in these 3,000 square feet.
It's called my Charlie Brown tree.
Their centennial home is their biggest investment
Another one of my favorite places.
that has paid dividends.
This is a lot of old time stuff here.
It's like the parties around this killer jukebox.
I gotta turn it down a little bit.
Chuck and Kate knew they couldn't hold on to it forever. They'd need to make some improvements and get ready to eventually sell and downsize. So an offer was music to their ears.
We received a flyer.
Oh.
My husband,
First red flag, we received a flyer. Anytime somebody receives a flyer in the mail regarding their home, is something bad more than likely going to come out of that.
looked at it and said, "Oh, this sounds like a really good deal."
The deal was from a company called Unison, offering a so-called home equity investment.
It's a great program. It's interest free, no payments
Interest free, no payments. Second red flag.
until you sell your home. The salesman was from Michigan, and we became friends.
Soon after, an appraiser showed up, valued the home, then someone came with a lengthy document.
It's just the notary.
And that was, part of our fault too, because we didn't ask a lot of questions. We wanted the money.
Then
We didn't ask questions because we wanted the money. You didn't ask questions because you wanted the money. They capitalize off of the fact that you know that once you see numbers, you are instantly going to fall for the psychological endorphin rush that you get from seeing all these big numbers. So I'm sorry, we're going to be past three red flags. We got three so far. At this rate, we might get to 10 red flags, but this is just number 3.
they had a check,
This was our pride and joy.
used it to redo the kitchen and build a deck. They assumed that they'd pay it back when they sold their home. Nearly 8 years later, they are now stunned to learn they could owe a lot more.
There were no steps. There was nothing explained to us that this is what was going to happen.
So here's what happened. In exchange for that upfront payment, companies like Unison essentially get a share of your home. In the Keynes case, after some fees, they got $87,000 from Unison, and Unison got a 70% stake in their house. Homes tend to grow in value as years go by, and Unison banks on that. Almost 8 years after they signed that deal for $87,000, Unison estimates if the Keynes sold their house now, they could potentially owe Unison nearly 3 times what they originally got paid. A typical home equity loan has an APR of about 7.9%. The effective APR on this could be near double.
They thought this is an interest-free loan.
Elizabeth Aniskevich is the Keynes attorney who this week filed a federal lawsuit against Unison, accusing the company of using deceptive marketing and offering products that work like loans, that operate like mortgages or reverse mortgages without any of the consumer protections.
The laws, generally speaking, under any of those would require Unison to inform the consumer at the time they sign the agreement, what is the annualized percentage rate of this agreement? So you have a better estimate of what you would owe at the end.
Her lawsuit seeks class action, assuming there are plenty of others like the Keynes. Steve on your side searched land records and found more than 400 similar agreements in 9 of Colorado's largest counties.
And I think it is highly likely that many people do not even understand today what they are in and what the result is going to be at the end of this contract.
Unison's media team has not yet responded to our request for comment on this lawsuit, but in other court cases, the company's attorneys have argued that this is an option contract, not a loan, and that people are given ample time to read what they're signing, and the document even encourages they seek financial or legal advice.
This is how I go up.
Okay, I've heard enough. So the bottom line is once again, somebody who doesn't read will always end up playing in the long run, because what happens is they know that you're going to get fixated on how much money you're going to get. when in their own documentation, you could say it's deceptive in terms of how easily it is to find it. It could be buried on page 22 of a 23-page contract. But the point is that that small sentence that you chose to not have a actual attorney review has cost you potentially your house, because they have a 70% stake in your home when it sells. Why would you think that it was a interest-free loan? Or what charity organization was showing up at your door for this? And notice a common denominator. They prey on those that they know have been in their home for a while, and it's a good chance that there's a lot of equity already in the home. It doesn't necessarily matter if it's in Colorado. You can go across the country and see these things. So a part of me feels bad for these people, but another part just brings home the fact that when you don't read and you don't pay for someone that small amount of money that could cost you thousands and hundreds of thousands in the end, what's a 1% of that cost paying it up front to have somebody review it? Or half of a percent, maybe $2,000 at most, to have an attorney review that document to find out exactly what you signed. And this is why the American public is in the state that it's in. Financial literacy and being able to be competent and self-aware. When you got two people in the household, one person could have read the document one way, then another person could have read it another way, and when we both come together and say, hey, what do you think this means, and go through it line by line together. It's two of y'all, but you didn't do that, and unfortunately it's probably going to cost you your home, just like it's cost probably thousands of other people their home with these similar type of I found this in the mail scam. So let me know in the comments below. Do you feel bad for this couple, or do you think that the laws need to be changed to present or prevent things like this from happening? Let me know.